Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind-blown moment, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom. And if you want some nifty wands, there's Charmaline up here and Shungite. Pyramids. Little guys. Please go to AllyKatzkreations211.com to see the full explosion of work. And of course, because of my desk, I don't have a place to put any of this stuff. It's great, good times. I need to get another cart. That's really what's needed. I didn't watch the last video, but if you're seeing the thumbs up bubble thing, I don't know where that comes from. I didn't program that in. Oahspe. So we finished the book of Cpenta-Armij, but we did not finish the first book of God from the same section as Cpenta-Armij. So we're going to continue. It is lengthy, so we're going to do usual chop it up kind of deal. Are you ready? This is chapter 14. The first Bible of Venu, being of Brahma, a man chosen by God for the children of Venu, giving an account of Brahma becoming an issue of his labors and his resurrection after death. These are the races of Brahma. Oh, geez. So again, I'm going to butcher a lot of names. I do apologize. This is like a whole hell of a handbasket kind of list. I'm not here to disrespect anybody. I'm going to do the best I can. Gones, Shone, Gamma, This, Ram, Zuri, Mex, Shriv, Vat, In, and Delta, each 1,000 years, of Gamma and Delta in the upper country, Ogan, were born Gusem and Hagu by Gamma, and by Delta, Yats, Ramis, Borgi, Otsiv, and Riv. Gamma was of the fourth descent of Git-Au, and Delta, the third descendant of Iwanga. Ihins from the land of Jaeth. The ascending castle of light in the lower country, Hojan Tivi, was by Ram first, then Ziril, Ihin, migrants from the land of Ham, then Shriv, then Vat, then Gons, then Un, the half-breed Drooks, then Shone, and then this. Little pause and a little note there. Half-breed. Whew. So they're really kind of on making you aware that everything that I've been saying with the hybrids, the Jehovian Anunnaki, that there's hybrids, Drooks, Drax, Dracos. Oh, shit. Jehovah, who by the Brahmins were called Oahspe, sent his light to the earth world once for every 100 generations, and the light fell upon his sons, prepared before their births by the angels of Oahspe. Of the times before the submersion of Pan, each cycle was called one man, and the length of his life 3,000 years. But of the times after, Oahspe commanded the nations of the earth to be rated as a man, and it was so. Oahspe said, that man may not be confounded. Thou shalt number Osiris with the generations that believe not, save in the Son. But of Zarathustrians, their number shall be as those who survived in the darkest of his cycle, which were Zarathustra from the races of Shon, and this, and Zarathustra, Haman, of Haman, Wochakaka, who begot Zor, who begot Theo, who begot Endasia, who begot Mer, who begot Ramsat. These were tribes of the Zarathustrian order who rejected idols, lords, gods, saviors, kings, queens, and all other rulers and the earth or in the heavens above the earth, save Oahspe, their creator. And in him and faith that to do righteously and practice good works make the best, nearest, perfect man. The light by the voice was lost in the 600th year after Zarathustra had reigned in Ramsat by the Ihins, whence came the tribe Lo John, who begot Thon Galahagrif, something that long, who begot Subniji, and from him to Wowthuchi Subgenie, maybe something like that. Again, I don't fucking care at this point in this book. It's ridiculous. It's not even human language. And sorry for those of you who love this book and therefore you know the names. I sure don't. And whatever. Which were 44 generations, the voice always came to the chief rabbi. In Chusa king, the voice was lost, but again restored by the Ihins, whose heirs were called Wasin Chung, who begat Avar, who begat Urigavagdina, who begat Ben Hamna, from whom was descended 30 generations, the chief rabbi of whom could hear the voice. Ben Hama numbered the faithless of his days, and there were of them 4,000 men, women, and children, and all their nations and tribes and Vinyu were idolaters. Through the descendants of Ramsat, the voice was again regained by the Ihins through a tribe called Shurviyata, who begot them Saga, who begot Freya Vamar Golem, who bred with the Ihins and begat Face, who begot with the Ihins Anu, who begot with the Ihins Maha, who begot with the Ihins Bra, who both voice a power from the Father, and he was called Brahma because of his great wisdom. The angels of Oahspe have prophesied, saying, out of thy seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall have suis with power. Things that were revealed in Zarathustra had been lost, but shall be recovered in Brahma. Ramsat had prophesied, moreover, with the coming of Brahma is the end of the Ihan race in Shem, Vinyu. God spake in Cosmon, saying, let no man say with Brahma, or with Abram, or with Po, or with Iwata, was the beginning of the doctrine of one spirit. For since man walked upright on earth, behold, I have said unto him, thou shalt have but one God, even the Creator. And in the cycles of my times, I've raised up many who have comprehended my words, but others constantly put away the I am and raise up idols instead. But let all men understand who and what is meant by the terms Po and Abram and Brahma and Itawa, which is that though I walk with the earth with these teachings and speaking through them, Yet none of these were idolatrized by men, for the nations of earth in the time of these foreign men comprehended that they were not gods, but men through whom and to whom I, even God, had spoken. Brahma said, have all men stars. Behold, since my childhood up, I have had a star above my forehead. No man could answer Brahma. They said, Brahma is foolish with all his wisdom. Brahma asked the star, who art thou? God said, I am thy star. I am the light of the second heavens. Brahma asks, why is thy name, O star, thou mysterious light? God said, call me Oahspe. I am the same light that spoke through Zarathustra in the olden time. Brahma asked, who art thou, O Oahspe, thou voice of light? God said, with one only shalt thou commune, thy creator. One only shalt thou worship, he who made thee alive. Brahma said, why hast thou taken up abode above my head? God said, obtain thou to be one with thy creator in wisdom and goodness and purity, and thou shalt answer thy own questions. Then Brahma applied to the Rabbah, the Zarathustrian priest, and he learned abnegation of self and the rites and ceremonies of the ancients. When Brahma was grown up, God said to him, arise on the morrow, my son, and I will lead thee into another country where thou shalt marry and settle down for a long season. Brahma said, peaceful have been my slumbers and joyous my wakeful hours all my life. I have made labor a pleasure, and I give all I have to the poor, doing thy commandments with all my wisdom and strength. From my youth up, I killed not any living creature of thine that goeth on the earth, or swimmeth in the waters, or flieth in the air. Neither ate I of anything that had ever breathed the breath of life. And I have been most abstemious in plain food and water, only according to the Zarathustrian law. Hear thou me, O Oahspe, for I will break my soul unto thee and hold nothing back. Oahspe said, it is well. Brahma said, woe is me. If my soul turneth toward women, was I not wed to thee, O Oahspe? Was I not thy bridegroom from my youth up? Why then protectest not thou me unto myself? Oahspe said, in times past I raised up many an issue, and they were without flesh desires all their days. Such men could not perpetuate the earth. They were good for their day. Zarathustra was an issue. My light is now for them that can perpetuate. All things are possible in my hands. Grieve not, nor smother out any talent I created unto the pure in flesh. Brahma said, if I have a woman, O Oahspe, may I not lose my love for thee. Oahspe said, by faith in me, thou shalt triumph by the road I marked out for thee, since before thou were born. Arise then, O Brahma, and follow thy star. I will lead thee. Brahma said, can there be another way than by celibacy? Can a married man serve Oahspe? So Brahma traveled and came into the country of Sin, where it lay the mountains of Talavichka, under King Tama, who had enforced the Zarathustrian religion with sword and spear and the chains and death, being himself sole interpreter. When Brahma came to Awacha, he halted, inquired the way to the high priest's house, that he might be absolved for 20 days in Tayama's kingdom, according to law, paying the price of appropriate for strangers. In answer to his summons, there came to the gate the damsel Utiz, fairest of women, draped also to be before the priests of the confession. Brahma inquired of her concerning the priests and the tax. Utiv informed him, and moreover said, I am going thither, and shall delight to lead thee to the place. So Brahma went with Utiv, and when they were gone a little way, she said unto him, Whence camest thou, and why, and what is thy mission? Peradventure I may serve thee. Behold, I see a star above thy head. Brahma said, Seest thou a star? Now I say unto thee, there is an old legend that the pure in heart, looking upward, often see their own paroda soul or bird, and think it belongeth to another. Utiv reassured Brahma she saw the star, whereupon Brahma took heart and said, Yeah, I have a star, and a voice of Oahspe cometh to me at all times. For some years I strove to be a priest, for I saw the wickedness of the world, and moreover, the tyranny and tortures of the church. And my soul cried out for the oppressed, who had faith in the Great Spirit more than in the priests. And Oahspe came to me and said, Brahma, my son, forsake thy studies, and take thy broad axe, and go and hew logs. Behold, I will come to thee sometime, and thou shalt bless the earth. So I gave up my studies and became a hewer of wood, living abstemiously day and night. I can't project that word properly before my teeth will fly out of my face, so I do apologize. And praying and striving with all my soul and with all my strength to purge myself of all earthly thoughts. So I grew, as thou beholdest, to be a large man of great strength. But alas, evil overtook me. My soul desired a woman, and I cried out unto Oahspe, saying, Why hast thou put this matter upon thy son? Lo, I strove to be wedded to thee only. I shut my eyes to all the earth, but thou hast suffered me to fail and fall. Rescue thou me, I pray. Then spoke Oahspe to me, saying, Behold, I have revealed my word through such as have no earth desires, but that time is past. I will now prove unto the nations of the earth that I have power in directing the flesh, that heirs may be born unto me, alas. And arise, therefore, and go whither I will lead thee, for thou shalt take a wife, and raise up 7 sons, and I will deliver my edifice, church, unto liberty. So I rose up and walked after the light of my star. Thus far have I come, but now much further I must go. I know not, but I will go to the end of the earth if Oahspe required it of me. Utiv said, I pity thee, O man. One so holy should never with women wed. To win such a man's love, the best of women would forget her God. To bear thee one child instead of 7, a woman would cleave the earth in twain. It would be like peopling the world with gods and goddesses. Oh, promise me, stranger, thou wilt turn from such unholy desires. I know not that moveth me past all modesty, thus to speak to thee, but before Oahspe, creator of heaven and earth, erst thou camest to my father's gate, a voice spake in my ear, saying, Quickly thou put on thy robes for confession and hasten to the priest. I tell thee, O man, I saved thee. The angels of Oahspe came to me. It is true that 2 can see more than one. Brahma said, Who art thou, O woman? Utiv said, A weaver of mats, no more. My father liveth in yonder thatch. My mother's soul ascended to heaven, giving me birth. She was of the Ihins. From place to place my father and I have been driven. All the ills of earth are written on my soul, and the rudeness of men, the lightheartedness of women. By day and by night my soul crieth out for the miseries of the earth. Oh, the sins of the earth. Oh, the death of little infants. Oh, the trials of the poor, or the suffering of the sick. Oh, the anguish of the imprisoner. Oh, stranger, 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 people not this world more. Let us turn our souls upward to Nirvana, to the regions of endless paradise, to the voice of angels and gods, to wisdom that erreth not, to music never discordant, to love that never separateth never. Brahma said, now I beseech thee, O Oahspe, that I may never marry, but because thou hast rised up here, so fair a woman, and withal so wise, give me leave that I may dwell near at hand. Then spake Oahspe out of the midst of the voices of their stars, saying, hold up thy hand, O man, hold up thy hand, O woman. And they held up their hands, and Oahspe said, I am the Father, and ye are my children, that I may have joy, dwell ye never together. Now after this, Brahma and she proceeded to priest's house and made their sacrifices, and returned and came to Yutiv's father's house. And the father's name was Allykatzkreations, is called Ally. And Yutiv told her father all that happened, but Brahma said little. Ally said, what the All-Light doeth is well done. My house is ample. Brahma shall sojourn as long as he desireth. Brahma said, of my own accord, I am not master of many words. When it pleaseth Oahspe to speak with me, I will raise my voice. Then Yutiv spread mats and provided food and set it before Brahma, and he ate. And after that, they said prayers according to the laws of the king, and then retired to sleep. Interesting. When morning came, Brahma and Yutiv rose early and came and spake together in joy, greeting. And they were moved to shake hands, though such a proceeding was not according to the fashion of the country, save betwixt relatives. And it came to pass that they were much together during the day, and in the evening they walked together, but touched not one another. Now on the second day they walked together and they held hands, and on the third day they joined arms, and on the fourth day they kissed each other, and after that they were only separated at night when they slept. But it came to pass that they were so delighted with each other that they sat up nearly all night as not to be separate. And all the while they neglected not their devotion to Oahspe, but finally they sat up all night, sleeping not, save in each other's arms. Yutiv says, since we sat up all night, it is wiser to sit on the mats than on stools. Brahma said, it is wiser. So they provided mats, half raised and half spread down, for a season, and finally laid the mats full length, and they laid together. More than that, history saith not. But Brahma followed his trade in the country, and it came to pass that they had a son born to them, and his name was Ish. And in time, another son, and his name was Vas. And then Git-un, and Vede, and Os, and Sa'it. Now after they lived together as man and wife, the voice of Armji came not to Brahma, though the angel of Oahspe remained, and at times talked to both Brahma and Yutiv, his wife. Now during all the time, until after the birth of the sixth son, Yutiv had faith in Oahspe, and was a faithless in her whole heart. But during all these years, she had only communion with the angels, and withal had suffered many hardships in common with Brahma. And their love abated not one jot or tittle. And Yutiv believed in her husband and encouraged his aspirations. He had said to her 10,000 times, I know Oahspe will come through me. Will he deliver the faithless out of bondage? And she believed in him and believed these things would come to pass, and believed her sons would have the voice of the Creator with them also. But after the birth of the sixth child, Yutiv lost faith in the father. She said, all my life I have been in error. There is no all person. There is no voice save the spirits of the dead, and they know little more of heaven than me. Creator is dumb, like the wind. His voice is like the wind, it speaketh nothing. And after that she ceased to use the name Oahspe or father, but said Elwin. After the manner of the ancients, and Brahma ceased more to speak in the presence of Yativ of the coming of Oahspe to himself, and he also adopted the Elohim, signifying like the wind, void of shape or person. While this state of unbelief was upon them, they had another child born to them, and they called his name Hog, signifying fact, or without inspiration, an animal that rooteth in the ground. Yativ weaned Hog when he was 3 years old, and on the day following, the voice of God came to Brahma, saying, Brahma, Brahma, and Brahma said, Here I, O Elohim. And the father said, Be thou faithful another 18 years. I shall be with thee to the end. Brahma was so delighted, he ran home and told Yativ, but she rejoiced not. She made no answer. Silently, she looked upward for a long while. And then she said, 18 years? Hog will be 21, and thou and I will be old. For 18 years more, God spake not to Brahma, but Brahma remained faithful, and Yativ was full of hope. But when the time was fulfilled in Oahspe's own way, he came with renewed light, which was on the 21st birthday of Hog. Whilst Brahma and his family were seated on mats eating breakfast at sunrise, lo, a light as of the sun came within the hut and passed over Brahma's head, and then disappeared. And out of the void in the space above their heads came these words, to wit, From this time forth, the 21st birthday shall be the time of maturity for man. Be ye watchful for the voice of Oahspe, he is ever present. And all of them saw the light and heard the words, save Hog, and Hog, having been begotten in unbelief, neither saw the light nor heard the voice. And when they all had exclaimed, Behold the light, hear the voice, Hog thus spoke before them, For many a year have prophesied this should come to pass, when I should reach my 21st birthday, for the love ye all bear me. I know ye would not put a joke upon me, but I am seriously grieved that ye say, Behold the light and hear the voice, for I say unto you, these things are not in reason and cannot be so, but in much hope and faith and belief, all of which ye have cultivated for years, ye suffer your imaginings to stand for realities. Now, whilst Hog thus spake, the light came again and stood over Brahma's head, whilst one might count 20, and the voice said, Blessed art thou, O Brahma, blessed thou, O Yativ. These things had to be fulfilled. I preach not by reason alone, but provide living examples. In his old age, Brahma had obtained issue. Again, all of them saw and heard the manifestation of Oahspe, save Hog, and he saw not and heard not what came of the spirit. Hog said, Have I not eyes good as the best? Show me a hair that I cannot see. Let fall a mite that I cannot hear. Then Ish, the firstborn, answered him, saying, First, my brother, I greet thee with my love, for thou art the fairest and best of all the great-born sons of this god and goddess, our father and mother. And I have appealed to thee in thy great wisdom. How have we all imagined the same light at the same time and place? And greater yet, how have we imagined the same spoken words? Hog replied, How can my answer cope with one who hath wisdom like unto thee, O brother? Thou hast confounded me, but yet I understand not wherein thou and ye, my most loving brothers, can see and hear things that I cannot. Have not we all the same parts, so like unto one another, that our neighbors scarce distinguish us? And above all, we are all the same fruit from a father and a mother, the holiest and wisest of created beings. Now spake Yativ, saying, I am before thy judgment, O Oahspe. That which I have done. Deal thou with me for my great unbelief. I have sinned against heaven and earth. Even whilst thou quickenest into life within my womb this star of everlasting light. Lo, I put out his eyes and stop up his ears against thee. The unbelief of my soul penetrated the walls of my womb and shaped the fruit of my holy husband into a man of darkness. O Oahspe, why thus thy daughter born? Hog said, O thou goddess mother, Weep not, but rejoice for the glory of my birth, that thou and my holy father, a very God amongst men, brought me into life. My soul is boundless in rejoicing. I declare unto thee, O mother, I am not in darkness, nor am I blind and deaf. If there be another world, what mattereth it to me? The glories of this one are boundless. And if there be a great light and a voice, what are they to me? Thou hast so filled my very vein of blood with thy warm love, and with the sweetest love of these, my holy brothers, and with the wisdom of my Father, God of man, that I know nothing but to rejoice and invent praises and thanks to you all with all my wisdom and strength. And now the light gathered within the soul of Brahma, and he was as one with the Father, Oahspe, the Creator, then spake through Brahma, saying, I created the earth not to be despised, as do the Zarathustrians throw the hearts of monarchs and priests, but that I should be the glory of man. This was the Zarathustrian law, but for sake of profit and bondage and evil, they have perverted my doctrines and bound up my peoples. They profess me, even Oahspe, but they have turned my commandments and my doctrines upside down. I came through Zarathustra and delivered them that called on me in faith, and they became my chosen for a season, but they suffered evil to usurp their hearts. They squandered my substance in building temples and providing a superabundance of priests and priestesses. They raised up the sword and spear for me. My blood and death, they established kingdoms and called them by my name, Oahspe. The spirit of my voice they put aside, but the words they retained and added earthly meaning to it. Thereby they proclaimed darkness for light and light for darkness. And the poor and distressed that worship me in truth and in spirit have learned to hate the words established, for which reason they are persecuted and bound and taxed and despitefully used. Yeah, they that would kill not because of their natural love to me and my created sons and daughters, they impress into service of war, taking them from their kindred, saying to them, come away from the peace and kill. Be thou a slayer of men, be a soldier of death for the glory of thy king. I command them in the olden time to kill not at all. My words were plain, but the kings commanded the priests to interpret my words round about, whereby war might be justified. I commanded them against taking that which was another's. My words were plain, but the kings commanded the priests to interpret the meanings, so the kings could extract tribute for their own glory. And so they levy their wheresoever and whensoever they will, saying, for the defense of the king and the country. Thus have they perverted my commandments from beginning to end. But I declare unto you that in my sight to kill one man, I will hold him accountable who doeth it, and 10 times accountable if he killed 10 men, and 100 times for 100. They shall not hide death and murder from my sight by the word war. Neither shall they excuse stealing by levying tax for the king or the country's protection, for by their own evil hath it come to pass that they talk about protection. Have I made a law that one king or one country shall protect itself against another? Seest not any man that these doctrines come of the flesh and not of the spirit? They profess to be faithless in me, but straight away they go and build fortifications of earth and stone and wood. And they that know me in spirit and truth, perceiving I am wrongly interpreted for evil's sake, being such a rebel in their souls against these iniquities, they seize and impress for their lifetime as slaves, or as refusing, they kill them. And they that work such wickedness say, behold, we have the Zarathustrian law, the Ihuna Mazdian law, the Oahspe law. Ours is the holy, the revealed word. Let no man rise up his voice against these truths, or it shall surely be put to death. But I looked down from my holy heavens and saw, and my ears heard, and I cried out in my soul for the evils of the earth. I said, behold, I will go and deliver them that have faith in me in spirit and truth, And I went over the lands of the earth, but I found no man in whom my light could shine. And I called my holy masters and generations, my angels, high rised in heaven. And I said unto them, come ye and dwell on the earth many generations, and by inspiration rise ye up, one in whom my light shall shine, for I will surely deliver my people. Now I declare unto you who are assembled, the time is at hand, and ye are all so many parts in my work. Even though my angels named ye these sons, according to their names, so will I establish my kingdom. Suffer therefore Vedi to write down the words I have spoken, for lo, he hath learning and memory provided to that end. Be ye watchful when I come again. Jehovah Oahspe ceased, and Brahma woke as from a trance, though he had heard all that was said. So Vedi remembered the spoken words, every one, and he wrote them down on cloth prepared for that purpose. And this was the beginning of a new name of a people on the earth. Though they were faithless in fact, and nothing but faithless, but they were called their neighbors sometimes Vedans and sometimes Brahmins. The next morning at sunrise, Jehovah came again, speaking through Brahma, saying, as I prepared a way for my voice, be ye wise in laboring to show this light unto all peoples. Neither take ye sorrow to your souls for the latest born, even Hag, for is always also in my keeping, and his wisdom shall be the glory of the earth. For is it not all fact interpreted by each and every man from the light of his own standing place, wherein error cometh into the world by the darkest of men, in not perceiving rightly the things I have created. Behold, one man seeth the forest with reference to its value in logs, another for splints, for mats, another for shade to lie in, another for its solitude, and they all alike see by that what dwelleth in them. But they see through their own several windows. Consider then the injustice of man that saith, you shall see as I see, hear as I hear, or who saith, this I have proved for a truth, and that for an untruth, or who saith, behold, we are many witnesses, and we attest. While Jehovah was thus speaking, his angel appeared and stood in the doorway of the hut, and all save Hag looked and saw the angel and witnessed the color of the angel's hair and eyes and the clothes he wore. And they pointed, saying in a whisper, behold, an angel of heaven. Then spake Jehovah, illustrating, saying, while as yet no one hath spoken, let one at a time privily describe to Hag the appearance of my angel in the doorway. Accordingly, they all, same Brahma, told Hag all that pertained to the angel, and they accorded one with another. And Jehovah said, speak thou, my son Hag. Hag said, to whom shall I speak? For be thou my very father, or of a truth, the creator I know not. God said, who sayest thou the creator is? Hag said, even as the wind, the great void, without person or shape or sense. God said unto him, for which reason I say unto thee, because of the unbelief of thy father and thy mother, whilst thou wert in thy mother's womb, thou art as thou art. This have they attested unto thee thousands of times since thou wert weaned. And they have also attested to thee as often that during the bringing forth of thy brothers, they were in the fullness of faith in Jehovah Oahspe. Thou wert born of the earth and can only see with earthly eyes and hear with the earthly ears and can reason only with earthly reason. Hag said, then of a truth I shall go down to earth, and thou shalt be no more of me. But these, my sweet brothers, and these goddesses and this God, my very father and mother, shall inherit everlasting life. God said, I would place 2 eggs before thee with the birds, within them nearly hatched. Now with one thou shalt open the shell a little, and the young bird seeth out, but the other thou leavest closed. Sayest thou, one bird will have much advantage over the other when they are both hatched. or that one shall not live, because forsooth it saw not through the shell. Such then is thy way to everlasting life. Of thy darkness will I make light that will reach unto millions. The sacrifice is the sacrifice of a very God amongst gods. Hog said, because of thy great wisdom, I fear to speak in thy presence, but the words come out of his mouth, who is the sweetest and holiest of created beings. Therefore I take courage in mine argument. Now behold, they have all described the angel in the door alike, and like have they described it in all particulars, and the wisdom of thy words goeth to the bottom of things. Not like the words of man, but faultlessly. Thou hast made me to behold, I am bound as with iron hoops, and must go my way all my days. Against this I complain not, for I perceive it is not within my judgment to know even myself as to what is good for me. This, however, thou hast shown me. I was molded as I am as I am. If I have faults, they are not my faults, neither are they of my father or my mother, for they cause of their unbelief at that time lay not with themselves, but with thee. God said, those words shall Vedi also write down. The glory and the wisdom of the earth shall come out of thy mouth. The manner of my edifice shall be shown unto the inhabitants of the earth. Thou hast seen the king's temple, and how to buildeth it. For the fine posts he sendeth his best hewers into the forest, and they chose the straightest and strongest trees, and felled them, and hewed them, and polished, and engraved them. And the posts are set up in the front as strength and ornament. But as to the walls of the temple, the king calleth not the best hewers, but the choppers. And they also go into the forest to fetch logs, not straightest and handsomest, but some whatever their axes come upon. And their timbers are put in the walls with mortar and wicks. And the temple is completed to the king's will. Jehovah said, of such like is my heavenly edifice. I send not winter to please one man, nor summer, nor the rain. I consider in what way I shall induce men to raise up one another and to be considerate. Through me, thou father and thy mother and thy brethren in all faiths that come after these, my doctrine shall learn to consider the unbelief of mortals, and the impossibility of one man seeing through another man's eyes. For as I have raised you up in a house in love, one to another, so will I show the wisdom of disbelief and its necessary on the earth. The foremost of all lessons is that all men shall have liberty, and no man's judgment be binding in others, for all do not see alike, nor can they understand alike. That ye shall be alike considerate to them that see not my light or my person, even as to them who are born in Suis, for they are of the same flesh and blood, and their spirits have they even from the same creator. For in the evidence of the past and the present, it is before you that man endeavor to enforce their doctrines by saying, behold the word of Oahspe, thus hath he spoken, and I am his priest, bow down your heads, whereas man shall not bow down, but hold up his head and rejoice. They that seek to enforce me and my enemies, nor have I said of this man or that, hear ye him, for he is truth. Shall the Creator make one greater than himself, and thus cut himself off? And yet the kings and the priests of this day assume this in Ihuna's name, and the mothers and the fathers of many have become discouraged because of their great hardships, and they bring forth heirs that have eyes but not see, but have eyes but see not, ears but hear not. God said, in the days of Zarathustra, I came to deliver them that had faith, but were in bondage. Today I come to prove 3 worlds unto men, and to teach them how they shall bring forth heirs with eyes to see, and with ears to hear spiritual things with liberty unto all men. first of the earth and its fullness, second in the intermediate world of spirits, where all shall sojourn from a season, and third the Nirvanian worlds of beyond Shinvat, where lieth unending paradise for the pure and wise. I'm going to leave it there, guys. So I hoped you all enjoyed that. Sending each and every one of you love, light, protection, and shielding. Please have a safe weekend. It's a little banana nuts by me right now, but all good. Keep those vibrations high. Give yourself time to go into yourself and do self-work. Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of my work, go check out my website. Or not, it's up to you. But I thank you all for just glimpsing what I do, and I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody who's been supporting me and Amish mindsetting. So until the next one, guys, have a good one.